Have you ever had a neighbor from hell? I am not talking about someone who plays their music a little too loud or forgets to bring in their trash cans. I'm talking about a neighbor who seems to have a personal vendetta against you. Someone who actively tries to make your life miserable. I had one of those, and for the longest time, I thought I was going crazy. It felt like a slow, creeping poison seeping into my everyday life, turning my home, my sanctuary, into a place of stress and anxiety. But then, I got proof, and that changed everything. This is the story of how my neighbor tried to destroy my peace of mind and how I finally fought back. It all started subtly, so subtly that I brushed it off at first. I moved into this lovely little apartment, my first place all to myself. I was so excited. I met my next door neighbor, let's call her Karen, on the first day. She seemed intense. She gave me this very long, very detailed list of unwritten building rules. Things like, no vacuuming after 7 p.m., and don't let the front door slam, it echoes. I just smiled and nodded, thinking she was just a bit particular. I wanted to be a good neighbor, so I made a real effort to be quiet and respectful. The first incident was my welcome mat. It was a cute, quirky one that said hello. A few days after I put it out, it vanished. I thought maybe the wind blew it away or someone had taken it as a prank. I bought a new one. That one disappeared too. I started to get a weird feeling. Then came the noise complaints. I'd get texts from the building manager saying my neighbor had complained about loud music. The thing is, I was barely ever home. And when I was, I listened to music with headphones. I work from home, so I need quiet. I tried to explain this, but it was my word against hers. It started to escalate. My packages started going missing from the lobby. Not all of them, just one every now and then. Enough to be a huge inconvenience, but not enough to seem like a pattern to anyone but me. I'd order something I really needed, track it to see it was delivered, and then, nothing. It was gone. I'd ask the building manager, and he'd just shrug and say package theft is common. But it was only happening to me. I felt so targeted and isolated. My anxiety started to skyrocket. Every time I left my apartment, I worried about what I'd come back to. Every delivery notification filled me with dread instead of excitement. Then came the rumors. Karen started talking to other neighbors about me. I found this out when another resident, a really sweet lady from the top floor, cautiously asked me if everything was okay. She said Karen had been telling people I was having loud, disruptive parties every night and was a problem tenant. I was mortified. I'm a quiet, introverted person. I barely have people over, let alone host parties. I realized Karen wasn't just particular. She was malicious. She was actively trying to ruin my reputation and get me kicked out. I felt completely helpless. It was her word against mine, and she had been in the building for years. I was the newcomer. I knew I couldn't just let this continue. I was losing sleep. My work was suffering, and I dreaded being in my own home. I felt like I was being gaslit, constantly questioning my own reality. Did I accidentally leave my music on? Did I slam the door without realizing it? But deep down, I knew I wasn't doing any of these things. I realized I needed more than just my word. I needed cold, hard proof. So, I decided to become my own detective. My mission, to catch Karen in the act and expose her campaign of harassment for what it was. The first thing I did was buy a security camera. Not a big, obvious one. A small, discreet one that looked like a USB charger. I plugged it into an outlet in my living room, positioned so it had a clear view of my front door from the inside. This way, I could prove that I wasn't having parties or making noise. It recorded 24/7, and I could check the footage from my phone. I also decided to install a video doorbell. This was a bit more obvious, but I justified it as a general security measure. It would record anyone who came to my front door, which would be crucial for the package and welcome mat mystery. I felt a small flicker of control return. I wasn't just a victim anymore. I was gathering evidence. For the first week, nothing happened. It was eerily quiet. I started to wonder if maybe she saw the doorbell camera and backed off. Or worse, maybe I really was imagining it all. But then, one afternoon, I got a motion alert on my phone from the doorbell. I opened the app and my heart started pounding. It was Karen. She was standing right in front of my door. She looked left, then right down the hallway, as if checking for witnesses. Then, she bent down, picked up my new welcome mat, tucked it under her arm, and walked away as casually as if she were picking up her own newspaper. I had her. I literally had her on video. stealing from me. I couldn't believe it. The relief was overwhelming. I wasn't crazy, but I knew that stealing a $20 welcome mat was enough to prove the full extent of her harassment. I needed more. The package theft was next on my list. So, I set a trap. I ordered a cheap item online and had it delivered. As soon as I got the delivered notification, I started watching my doorbell camera feed live. For an hour, nothing. Then, just like before, Karen appeared. She walked up to the pile of packages in the lobby. The camera's view wasn't perfect, but it caught the area. She sorted through them, picked up the box with my name on it, and took it. This time, however, she didn't take it back to her apartment. She walked straight to the building's trash room. A few minutes later, she walked out empty-handed. My package was gone. I saved the videos immediately. I now had undeniable proof of her stealing my mat and my package. But what about the noise complaints? That was the core of her attack on my reputation. My indoor camera was the key. One evening, I got another text from the building manager. Another noise complaint from your neighbor. Please keep it down. My blood boiled. I had been sitting on my couch, reading a book in total silence for the past 3 hours. I immediately went to my indoor camera's footage. I scrolled back through the last few hours and saved a clip showing me sitting quietly, with a timestamp that corresponded exactly with the time of the complaint. It was perfect. The video showed my silent apartment, proving her complaint was a complete fabrication. I now had a folder on my computer labeled evidence. I felt a sense of power I hadn't felt in months. I wasn't just going to the building manager this time. This was bigger than that. Her actions were calculated and malicious. I compiled everything into a single, detailed email. I attached the video files, clearly labeled with dates and times. I wrote out a timeline of every incident, from the first missing mat to the false noise complaints and slander. I explained how her actions had caused me severe stress and anxiety. I sent the email to the building manager and CC'd the property management company that owned the building. The response was almost immediate. The next morning, I got a call from the head of the property management company. He was apologetic and horrified. He said they had the footage and were taking it very seriously. He told me they had a record of her numerous complaints against me, but with my evidence, the situation was completely reversed. An investigation was launched, and a few days later, I saw Karen being formally spoken to by the management. The atmosphere shifted completely. The false noise complaints stopped. My packages were left alone. My welcome mat stayed put. It turned out Karen had a history of this behavior with previous tenants in my unit, but no one had ever been able to prove it. They had all just moved out to escape her. By gathering proof, I didn't just save myself. I broke the cycle. A few weeks later, I received a notice that Karen was moving out. The property management had given her the option to leave or face eviction proceedings. Seeing that moving truck outside her apartment was one of the most satisfying moments of my life. My home finally felt like a home again. It felt safe. This whole ordeal taught me a valuable lesson. When you feel like you are being targeted or harassed, trust your gut. Don't let anyone make you doubt your own reality. And most importantly, document everything. Your phone is a powerful tool. Take pictures, save texts, record videos if you can legally and safely do so. Proof is power. It can turn a he said, she said situation into an undeniable case. If you're going through something similar, know that you're not alone and you're not powerless. Fight for your peace. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you've ever had a crazy neighbor experience, share it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time.